Quentin, lovely to see you again. Can you just, here at Procurement Supply Chain Live Sustainability, just tell us a little bit about you and your journey in procurement?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. It's good to see you again, Tom. So I started in the hospitality industry. So I worked in the hotels. That's why also my keynote today was mostly around hotels, and this is my let's say the core of what we do on a daily basis in procurement at MCI. So we focus on the events part of things, even though we do much more than that. So we're a marketing communication agency. We engage with the community, with the communities of our clients, trying to shape their strategy. But I'm mostly focused on the hotel part. So I would say that I went from hotel to now working with hotels in procurement.
You mentioned your keynote there. Can you just give, for anyone who wasn't in there, can you just give us a bit of a rundown of what you were discussing?
Yeah. So in a few words, it's basically that we saw there was a need to help our clients, which is what we try to do, and in the hotel sector. And what we saw that there was a need for more clarity in the sustainability sector within the hotel world. And as an agency, we built ESG assessment tool for the hotels that we developed with the UN when we worked for COP26, so a few years back then. And this evolved to a project that is now more proactive. So it's only a few months now, but the ESG assessment now is basically we're building a database on ESG certified hotels that will help hopefully our clients to make more sustainable decision when they book a hotel for their events.
And have you seen, I don't know if it's sort of early stages, but have you seen sort of tangible results in terms of that initiative?
Yeah, so it's only a few months old, right? This proactive part, but the database was super happy that, so we have 14 different hotel partners, and some of them already quite onboarding the project, which is amazing to see, because it could have been also that they just see it as another survey, right? We believe that since we're quite a large group, they could not avoid us, let's say, but we didn't want it to be that way. We wanted to really collaborate with them. We need the hotel partners to make it happen anyway. So it was kind of a co-building of not the tool, but the co-building on that database. And we saw great results. So tangibly, we have 3,200 assessed hotels. So we have already that database in 50 different countries. But it's just the beginning, right? It's evolving, and we are quite confident in getting 10,000 by the end of this year, and we want 20,000 next year, which represent more or less half of our hotel landscape that we have partners with. And yeah, in the future we would like to even extend that to potentially a non-partner. So basically all of the hotels that really want to participate to be able to build a better tomorrow.
It sounds really exciting, and something you said there made me think, do you sort of feel that sustainability, we're getting to that point now, or maybe we've already surpassed it, where sustainability is no longer being seen as just a tick box exercise. People are actually embracing it as a strategic necessity.
Yeah, I think it changed a lot due to this being a trend, and coupled to the fact that now it's being regulated. So we can't just tick it, like you said. We can't just ignore it either, obviously. But actually, I see it also as a source of revenue for a lot of companies. It shouldn't be only about that, right? But there's also an interest in terms of business. And I think this is how we have to be a bit realistic, right? And I think there's a big potential there. But it's for the better, right? There's still this notion that we want to cultivate the mindset of our clients and help them with a tool that doesn't exist right now. We're the first one making it happen for the MICE industry as an agency. So we're very excited, and hopefully it can help our clients. Hopefully it can help us also differentiate as MCI. This is also what we do, what we aim to do with that. And yeah, like I put in my video, if you look at the video, try to build a better tomorrow, which is what we aim to do.
Fantastic. You mentioned obviously the potential cost benefits. I guess one of the things that potentially, and you can tell me, you're in the know on this, you can probably tell me whether this is true or not. One of the things that we do here is a bit of a reluctance in a way in terms of embracing sustainability initiatives because of the cost pressures, maybe the initial cost pressures that it entails. Obviously long term, you might see a return, but the initial cost pressures, how can companies, when making those initial steps, sort of balance, sustainability and those cost pressures?
Actually, I extracted a study from Booking.com, so it's more individuals, but it gives a bit of an idea. They did a study where they surveyed 33,000 global travelers, and 43% of them found that sustainable options were simply too expensive. So 49, so almost half of them. And it's true, right? So there was a question in the audience yesterday that was like, how do we split kind of the extra cost of having organic products also? Does it have to be only for everyone when you go to the supermarket, right? How can we try to balance that in the future, which is kind of maybe one of the goals? And I think applying that to companies is trying to do little steps. This is what we tried to do a few years ago, try to do little step and have that scientific approach of doing one small step, and then we try to scale it later on. And that's why it took quite some time for us. It's 2021 to now, 2025, so it's 4 years. It developed quite well. It changed quite well as well, coming from a reactive to a more proactive approach. But this would be kind of my thing. Try to do little steps and also try to work with experts on the field. I'm absolutely no sustainability expert. I'm more of a procurement and hospitality guy. But like when you manage your events and you work with MCI, for instance, we don't pretend to know everything. But when we don't, you have to have the responsibility or the idea to just go to the expert one.
Great, thanks, Quentin. And just finally, you're well placed to answer this. Coming from the procurement space, what sort of trends are you anticipating? Maybe looking ahead to the next couple of years to emerge when it comes to making operations more sustainable. Maybe in the hospitality space specifically, or in general.
Well, I think what we are trying to do now will evolve somehow into hopefully something quite common. For all the agencies out there, we're one of the largest agency in the marketing, communication, engagement, and event industry space. But we're not the only one. So I'm hopeful that it will start to grow. I think we'll have to support each other. I think we have to work as a common industry also to shape the future. We want to be here in 100 years, and that means that we have to make changes and we have to adapt. We're trying to do it at MCI. We have commitment internally to 2030, and I think this will be kind of to answer your question. The trend will be that it will become normal, and it already had become like we have those. I was talking to Neil just before, which was telling me that the sustainability part is the only thing we want to talk about almost now. And I think we have to move from greenwashing to actually making things happen. And I saw a few stands here that actually try to provide that solution. And we have to really make the difference between doing it just to tick a box like you mentioned before, to actually trying to make a difference at least.